Hey everybody. Today in class we worked on dividing integers. Tonight we're going to work on dividing rational numbers, so dividing decimals and fractions. We're going to start with decimals because I think that's the trickiest one, so we'll get that one out of the way first. Our first example here, we have negative 4.234 divided by 4. Now we know our answer is going to be a negative number, so I'm going to make a note of that first, because we have two numbers with different signs. We have our first number that's negative and our second number is positive. So to set this problem up, I'm going to need to do long division. So I'm dividing by 4, and I'm going to put 4.234, and we're going to ignore the signs for now because we already know our answer is going to be negative. So I can just start dividing. I know 4 goes into 4 once. 1 times 4 is 4. I put that there. I subtract. I get 0. And bring the 2 down. Now 4 doesn't go into 2 at all, so I'm going to have to put a 0 there. 0 times 4 is 0, and 2 minus 0 is 2. Bring the 3 down, and now I have 23. 4 goes into 23 5 times, because 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract that, I get 3. I bring the 4 down, 34. 4 goes into 34 8 times. 8 times 4 is 32, and 34 minus 32 is 2. And now I don't have anything else to bring down, but I can always add a 0 on the back end here. So now I bring the 0 down, and I get 20. And now 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. So now that I got 0, I'm done. So my answer is negative 1.0585. There we go. My second example here is a little trickier because I have a decimal divided by a decimal. Now I know my answer is going to be positive right away because I have a negative divided by a negative. So let's just set this one up. I have 0.25, and inside I have 62.5. Now, it's tough to think about 0.25. How many times does that go into something? So what I'm actually going to do, what I can do here is I'm going to move this decimal 2 places, and I'm going to do the same thing with this decimal, 1, 2, to make sure that I keep them the same. So now I have this decimal right here at the end, and I have this decimal here too. So really what I'm doing now, my problem now is 25 on the outside and 6250 on the inside because I moved each decimal 2 places to the right. So now I want to see 25, does that go into 6? I know it doesn't, but I know 25 goes into 62 twice because 2 times 25 is 50. So now I subtract, that's going to give me 12. Bring the 5 down, and 25 goes into 125. It goes into 104 times, goes into 125 5 times. 5 times 125 gives us that. That's 0. Here we got. Bring that 0 down. 25 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 25 is 0. We subtract, we get 0. So we're done. The answer to this problem is positive, right? Because we knew it was going to be positive, positive 250. All right, let's try 2 more just like those. So in our first problem here, I know I'm going to have a negative answer because I have 2 numbers with different signs. So I'm going to set up my division. I got 72.3. I'm dividing by 0.006. Now this is another instance where I'm going to have to move my decimal. So I'm going to move this one 1, 2, 3 spaces. Got to move this one 1, 2, 3 spaces also. Now in these empty spaces I can always write zeros without changing the value of the number. So really the problem I'm doing is this. So now 6 goes into 7 once, I know that. 1 times 6 is 6. We subtract. We get 1. Bring this 2 down. 6 goes into 12 twice. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Now I bring the 3 down. Now 6 doesn't go into 3. It goes into 3 0 times. 0 times 6 is 0. We subtract again, and we just keep going through the process. 6 goes into 35 times. 5 times 6 is 30. We subtract there. I get 0. Bring this 0 down. 6 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 6 is 0. We subtract, we get 0. Because we get 0 here, we're out of numbers up here to bring down, so we're done. Our answer is going to be negative, so we get negative 1, 2, 0, 5, 0. That's our answer. Alright, let's try one more decimal division problem. Now I know here I have, again, different signs, so I have a negative answer, and I'm going to divide 0.99 by 1.2. Now I know I'm going to have to move this decimal one space, so I'm going to do the same thing with this decimal. One space to the right for both of them. So this is really the problem I'm going to be doing. Instead of 0.99, I really have 9.9, because that decimal is in between the two nines. Now I have 12 here. I know 12 doesn't go into 9, but 12 does go into 99. 12 goes into 99 8 times. 8 times 12 is 96. So I subtract, and I get 3. Now this is another case where I'm going to have to add a 0 here that I can bring down. Put the 0 there. 12 goes into 30 twice. 2 times 12 is 24. Subtract that, I get 6. Have a 0 there now. Bring that down, I have 60. Now 12 goes into 60 evenly. It goes in 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60, and we get 0. So we're done. I'm going to put my decimal right here. I know my answer is negative, so I'm going to write my answer as negative 0.825. Alright, that's it for our decimal examples. Let's check out a couple of fraction examples before we wrap up here. These are going to be pretty quick. The easiest way to divide fractions is actually to take each division problem and rewrite it as a multiplication problem. So instead of negative 9/8 divided by 5/6, I can rewrite this as negative 9/8 times 6 over 5. I can change it from a division problem to a multiplication problem by flipping the fraction. We just switch the numerator with the denominator. You can do this for any division problem involving fractions. So now I can just multiply these. Negative 9/8 times 6/5. One thing I'm going to want to do is cancel here because I'm doing multiplication. So I know 8 and 6 I can both divide by 2. If I divide 6 by 2, that's going to give me 3. 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4. So now I have negative 9 times 3 is negative 27. 4 times 5 is 20. And that's my answer. So instead of doing a complicated division problem, I just think about it as multiplication. We can do the same thing with this next one. Negative 12 over 7 times, I'm going to leave the negative, and instead of 5 over 2, it's 2 over 5. Once again, I'm changing from division to multiplication, change from negative 5 over 2 to negative 2 over 5. So now I don't see anything I can cancel here, so I'm just going to multiply straight across. Negative 12 times negative 2 is 24. 7 times 5 is 35. And in my last example, I have negative 1/2 divided by 1 over 8. It's just going to change this to multiplication. 8 over 1. Now I can cancel here. I know I can divide 2 by 2 to get 1. It means I can divide 8 by 2 and get 4. So now I have negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. 1 times 1 on the bottom is 1. And I can simplify this. I know if it's over 1, I can just write it as an integer. Negative 4 is my answer. Alright, I know that was a lot tonight. Good job keeping up. Go ahead and finish up your notes, and I will see you tomorrow.